everybody. It's Mario Armstrong, your host of Small Biz Go Mobile. This is our special web series show, and we are in Baltimore at the ETC, which is the Emerging Technology Centers. It's the awesomest incubator ever. Wouldn't
It's
you say?
awesome, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
this guy
fantastic.
right here is Vince Buscemi. You've seen him on the show. Buscemi.
There it is again.
Buscemi.
The one and only.
The one and only. Jeez, we like turned this guy into his own character. Vince Buscemi, he really is a small business guy and a business owner. He understands business and entrepreneurship, especially in the mobile space. He's director of mobile and a vice president at a company called MindGrub, mindgrub.com. All right, man, so today I want us to just chat about, because so many people are hitting me up like, I'm thinking, business owners are like, I'm thinking about we need a mobile app for our company, and they're thinking about, is this the right time? How can we use a mobile app to maybe market ourselves or promote our wares? And I'm getting this from everyone that are like, from consultants, that people you might not think would want to get a mobile app, all the way over to like retail establishments that should definitely probably have an app.
Right.
So I guess I wanted us to just break this down today and simplify it on just a couple of steps that people that are thinking about getting a mobile app made should be thinking. Like, what's the first thing? Like, they got this idea, then what happens?
So the first thing that you really need to do is know your target audience. You absolutely need to know who this app is going to be marketed towards and why they're going to want this app.
Yeah.
That's one thing that a lot of businesses fail to see is that people may not want what they want in an app. So a business says, I want this in an app, but is that what your customers are going to want? The main goal for a business owner is to make sure that people keep coming back to your application. They keep using it. It's got knowledge and information that's relevant to them and keeps them coming back.
The whole one-off thing, the whole idea of like downloading the app, because we all like can get app fatigue, right? You can just totally get app fatigue and you're downloading apps and apps and apps, but it's like, how many of those apps do you really go back to use again?
Absolutely.
I got a ton of apps on my phone.
Me too.
I don't use them all regularly.
That's right,
And so your point is, really dig into what the customers would want on a consistent or need on a consistent basis with your app.
Right. Think about things like, does it make sense to have it as a mobile application? Are there things that you can offer in the app that aren't available on your website? For instance, location-based services. Big buzzword, and it's a hot topic right now because there are things that are relevant to users when they're in located when they're in that specific location. So that's important. Think outside of your website. Think outside of your service. Think outside of the box, if you will. What does the app do that ties in other things that you're doing on your website, your social media strategy and campaign, but maybe offers something different?
Right. So here's the next question. Everyone's like, do we just get an iPhone app, because iPhone has been out first, it has the most amount of apps in the store, and people just hear the iPhone. Or should I get an iPhone app and an Android app? I mean, a lot of people may not even really realize that there are different operating systems for different mobile phones. And so how do they make a decision? Like, I guess that here again, it goes back to tapping your customer base to find out what they are carrying, what they're using. Because what if they aren't on those phones and you're creating a mobile app and they aren't even using smartphones?
Right, and this could be an entire different conversation, but I'll try and pare it down really quick.
Okay.
A lot of my clients, when they say, I want to be able to say I've got an app for that, they mean Apple. They mean the App Store. They mean I want the dude with the finger in the commercials late at night. Right. That's what they want. A lot of times their customers are BlackBerry users, but BlackBerry does not have the large app store that Apple does, and even Android. Android is a big game changer too. Open source, a lot of developers are going towards it, but in the end, Apple's SDK makes it easier for developers.
Software Development Kit,
Sorry
SDA,
about that.
Software Development Kit.
It makes it easier for people to develop applications instead of having to create ways to make those applications with Android. It's a little bit easier, so you have more developers leaning towards Apple than you do Android. But
at the end of the day, all of that stuff doesn't even matter if your customers aren't on those devices. So find out what your customers are using and get on those platforms.
Definitely.
Is what's critical.
Now, since we're talking about this, another point that I have is if you're going to do the application in-house, if you're going to try and take the challenge on, make sure Make sure you understand everything there is to know about the platform, the device, the network, everything. Because a lot of times, for instance, with Apple, you've got the human interface guidelines. Apple says this application must follow this guideline, must follow this procedure. And if you go and spend, you know, $10,000, $20,000 investment internally to get an app done, and Apple denies it,
doesn't approve
exactly,
it. Right.
then you've completely lost, you know, that.
Because that was going to be my question. Like, you know, a lot of people may be thinking, you know, well, how do I hire an app developer? Like, whether it's an individual that they just want to put, you know, an augmented on their staff, or it's just this one-off thing and they just want to get a project done, or whether it's hiring a company to develop an app. Outside of, you know, your own MindGrub pitch, like, what would you say to someone that's just like, you know, how do I verify that they are a good app developer? Like, if I spend money with them, they're going to make the app that I really want, or they're going to make sure that it gets into the store.
Have a relationship with them first. Understand the company, the programmer, the individual. Make sure that you know exactly, you know, what they've done in the past.
Yeah.
Ask to see references, ask to see examples. Download their apps, play around with them. Really see what they're like. Are they buggy? Do they have the same look and feel, the same functionality that you're looking for? If they don't, it may not be a good fit. If they do, then start to engage with them and start with the planning, information architecture, wireframes. Make sure you do the blueprint first.
I was gonna
before you
good.
go into design.
Yeah.
You get the list of functionality, you put it into the blueprint, and then together, you and the developer, you build that out together and keep the relationship close. A lot of times you'll get kind of, you know, distracted and there's this
Go
disconnect,
off on tangents.
and you say, okay, good, you know, my developer's got it, I'm done. No,
No,
always be
no,
engaged
you will
and
not
involved.
get what you're looking for.
Definitely.
The expectations will be totally off base, and they won't match up to what you thought you were going to
And we have so much more that we can talk about, but but for another show. But definitely any questions.
It just flies by like that.
It does.
I'm going to drink some of this coffee. Oh, by the way, speaking of the fact that we have this coffee laying around, one little thing you may not know about Vince, I just kind of found out. I'm going to go to his house and see what the real deal is. But he's a home brewer.
I am. Yeah.
So he brews beers at home?
That's right.
That's what a home brewer is.
That's exactly it, yeah. I take
So,
water,
so are you
yeast,
working on
and
like Vince Ale, you know, or Buscemi Ale? Buscemi.
I've got an Irish stout in the fermenter right now and a pale
Buscemi
ale.
Stout.
That's
I
right.
like that. Did you get that Buscemi Stout? Let me go order a Buscemi Stout. Sounds good.
Look for it in your local liquor store. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, that's going to be a wrap for today's
Thanks again,
Small
Mario.
Business Go Mobile. Hey, Vince Buscemi from MindGrub, thanks so much for giving us a little insight about how we go about getting mobile applications for our business, man. So MindGrub's the site. He's the VP and chief marketer all the time, chief plugger. All right, I'm Mario Armstrong. That's going to be a wrap for today's web show. Come back for more Small Business Go Mobile videos right here.
See ya.